how to be a spiritual coach making money.
Oh, I like that topic. Is there any contradiction between being spiritual and making a lot of money? Like, if the answer is no.
Why?
I
Why?
want to say no, but but never
Okay.
mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I truly believe that money, but that's actually a very interesting contrast and a very real things that are happening, right? Sometimes I do wonder, this is the truth. Sometimes I do wonder, in the process of growing money, for example, like, are there things that like you face that, do you understand what I mean? That can make you drop that side of you, drop that this, like, it's real. I know that, like, in the process of growth, right? Like, I've seen this. Like, it's not like I'm Jeff Bezos or anything like that. Nowhere near that. Even like uh like, I went from nobody knowing who I was to all of the sudden, like, even a couple of hundred people saying, "Oh, I like it, Dihessa." Like, there's a little bit of corruption there. Do you understand what I mean? So what happened was, all of a sudden it got to my head. This is the truth, right? And so, like, I ask myself questions like that. This is honestly questions that I ask myself. I ask myself questions like, in the process of growth, right? Whether it's about money or whether it's about, like, more people knowing who you are, or more people projecting their stuff onto you, or more people, like, I think about, like, people like stars, for example, people who have billions of people's eyes on them all the time. Like, who do you need to be, really? Like, I can't even imagine what that is like, right? I can't even imagine what that is like, because I haven't experienced it, right? But, like, I know that there is a person. This is why, like, I always say, for me, growing money, you can grow money and also grow your spirituality. It's possible, right? You can, like, focus on both. And in my honest opinion, uh, there's a way. It's possible that sometimes we lose our way. Sometimes we are focused on money, and then we forget this other part, and we really can. It's possible. For me, I look at it from the perspective of energy. It's not that money is the bad thing. Like, if I look at money as also like a certain kind of energy, and if we're not able to manage that, then of course we can fall. We can fall into things that we may not necessarily have expected. But if we focus on, like, I want to grow the money, and I also want to be able to still stay connected to what I value. But if like, is it possible to grow both of them together? Yeah, definitely. I know it's possible. But I think for that to happen, you have to be very clear what you value, and also, like, for me, how I look at it is, I look at it from the perspective of, yes, like, I want to stay connected to what I value, but at the same time, I understand that as a human being, I'm kind of corrupt. You understand what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? It's like, as a human being, a part of me is corrupt, right? And, like, that, it's so clear to me. Right? Like, I can be a good person at any given moment, and I can be uh, not such a good person at any given moment. All depends on, like, how intentional I am about being connected to that part of me. And when I think about it that way, for me, I think that's one of the things that has gotten me, like, to the space where I don't judge a lot. It's like, I don't like, and it might sound a little bit woo, a little bit weird, or like some people think that I'm pretending. It's not a lot of pretense, because for me, it's like, again, like, even that person who's falling at any given moment, I can see myself in them. Even when we're judging that one person that is on the top, you don't know what they, like, even that, like, which we are judging, like, do we know what it takes to be, like, one of the top making money? Like, we don't. Like, do you know what they had to? We don't, right? We don't. But at the same time, do we wish that they were connected more to like the soul part of. So the issue is not money. The issue is, can we actually grow money from the perspective of me being connected to a deeper level of who I am? And when we do that, we like, if I'm connected to that part of who I am, I'm thinking about the other person. Like there's no disconnect. I'm thinking about, oh, good for me, good for others. Good for me and good for others, you know? But at any given moment, I can be disconnected from that part of who I am as well. It happens to all
So,
of us. And so it's easy. How I look at it, it's easy to judge the other. It's easy to be like, especially the ones that we see, the ones that like we can project our things on. It's easy to be like, okay. And sometimes a lot of stories, they're not necessarily true. It can be amplified just because it's said on the news doesn't mean it's true. Like a lot of the, and I'm not saying that it's false either, right? But like for me, I refrain a lot from uh, that kind of judgment simply because also I wish for them to still like I wish for people who have the most money in the world to connect so much to that power of who they are that it's like, do you understand what I mean? Like the people who have the most money in the world, if they decided that they want to make the world a better place today, like it would change everything. I feel like a lot of people in the spirituality community, I think that there's like an unspoken fear that if I focus so much on money, then it's actually going to, like, this is real. Like it's going to create a disconnect between me and myself and my soul and all these things. But this part matters to me so much. I feel like at a certain point, it's not even about what other people think about us anymore, you anymore. At a certain point, for some like this is real. I felt it. I experienced this. Like for some coaches, it's not even about what other people think about them having money anymore. Like unconsciously or even consciously, it's like if I focus too much of my energy on that, is that going to create a disconnect between me and my soul? Because I see so many examples. Unfortunately, why we're talking about Jeff Bezos is because he's up there and then we see him around. Unfortunately, I bet you there are other people who have lots of money who are utilizing the money for good, who are utilizing, but we are not talking about that. So we don't have that information prime in our brain all the time. So what we're seeing is the negative all the time. But rather than that, there are other people who are utilizing. I wish we will see more of that, right? Then, like, it will be normalized in people's brain and know that, oh, actually, I can make money. I can utilize money for what I value. I can utilize money. Like, for me, even like I can utilize money. I look at it from, like, one of the things for me personally that changed my perspective even about money is I I like one day I said money is going to help me grow my soul. Money is going to serve me for growing my soul. Money is going to serve my spirituality. Then once I realized that, once I made that decision, I'm like, then there's no conflict anymore. And I'm like, money, will you do that? Yeah. Yeah, we can do that. Right. And then there's no more conflict. Right. But like I think the fear sometimes, the unspoken fear is if I focus on that too much, it can create a disconnect between me and me, right? It can create a disconnect between me and my soul. And the reason why sometimes we may feel like that is because we see it happening in small ways, actually, as we grow. Like just like I talked about earlier, when like I was growing and a couple of people, like a couple of hundred people like me, and all of a sudden like my head is big, like, and then I'm like, what? Like once I came back to myself, I was like, whoa, this is dangerous business. But the real thing is not, it wasn't that. The real thing is that like it's like I wasn't in myself enough, that I put my value in how, right? And so for me, I look at it as a very beautiful way, actually, because yes, you will fall. Yes, like you'll go through these experiences, but if it's intentional for you, then you have the opportunity to come back and be like, because yes, money can actually get to your head. Do you understand what I mean? It is
oh yeah.
possible. Yeah, like people say, because sometimes when I hear people say, like, yes, money cannot corrupt your soul, I say, yes, but, yes, but, right? Money can get to your head, fame can get to your head, money can get to your head, all these things can get to your head. It's all about how you manage yourself, how much you are rooted within yourself, how much, like I said earlier, it's like we are kind of corrupt beings, like how much you can move through that and stay connected to the other part of you, which is pure, right? Awaken that part more and more and more and more, right? And sometimes I think the unspoken fear is if I focus so much on money, if I focus so much on people finding me and people, like, is that going to make me fall? But like for me, what really changed for me is I'm willing to fall because it's in the falling that I'll get back up and then I'll grow, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Go ahead.
inevitable. It's like I've been at this work long enough to know that, like, how can you grow without falling? I don't know how that happens. It's like, I don't know how that happens. Like, you have to face something. It's like, for me, falling means I didn't know this before, I didn't have this awareness before. And all of a sudden, I'm becoming aware of it. And sometimes it can be painful because I had ideologies about it. I had expectations about it to be like this or like that. Or I'm holding on to an image of it that needs to be like this or like that, right? But for me, I always look at it from the perspective for when I fall, it's like wake up. For me, fall means wake up call. Right? Wake up and pay attention. Wake up and see what's happening here. Wake up and see what you're not aware of, you know? And so for me, like, and I know it, I think I wasn't always like that for sure. I wasn't like, I did everything in my power to avoid all failures, right? Like, failure was a bad word for me for the longest time. But now I understand, like, and it's not just I understand, I've experienced it in my life, in my business as well. Uh, it's not that, it's not even that it's okay to fail or it's okay to, like sometimes they say mistakes are okay. It's not even that mistakes are okay. Mistakes are required, in my opinion, because it's like one of those things. It's like you don't know what you don't know until you know it, and then when you know it, you do better, and then you move on. Yeah.